This is the plaintiff, Christopher Probst. He says he's known the defendant for about 30 years, and never would he think they'd end up in court over a bad loan. The guy needed some money for 7 days. He gave it to him, and when the defendant paid him back, the check he issued him bounced. He hates to do it, but he's suing for the $1,512 he's owed. This is the defendant, Ron Zurich. He says the money the plaintiff gave him was a fee because he got the guy a job as a restaurant consultant. Why the plaintiff's claiming it was a loan here today is a big mystery to him. After all these years, it's a real shame when people change on you and make stuff up just to make a buck. He's accused of breaking up a beautiful friendship.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Christopher Probst.
Yes.
You are suing Ron Zurich for $1,512, $1,500 of a loan that you say he refuses to repay, plus a bank fee for a return check. Tell me what's going on.
You know what? On January 18th, I lent him $1,500, short-term loan. It was supposed to be given back within 7 days. After 7 days, I tried calling his cell phone number. He was not picking up, and he was not returning my calls. And at some point, I couldn't even leave him a message anymore. Right around...
How do you two know each other?
You know what? I've probably known Ron for 30, 35 years. First got to know him at the health club. We worked out together. And then I was in the restaurant business for 20 years, and he came in the restaurant with his family.
Okay.
So I've known him for quite a while.
And have you stayed friends with him all this time?
Yeah.
Because obviously he felt comfortable coming to you for $1,500 loan. Did he say what it was for?
Well, you know what? I knew he was going through some litigation on his end, and he claimed that he got a check issued from his bank as part of that settlement, and he was going to see the check within 7 days.
Okay.
And he needed $1,500 to tide him over until
Did he say, when the 7 days passed and he didn't pay you, were you ever able to reach him, or he just ignored you completely?
Ignored me completely.
Okay, and...
Except I got a check in the mail.
Okay.
I deposited that in my personal checking account, and I became aware there was insufficient funds in there.
May I see the check? What's going on?
I have a escrow surplus coming from Chase Bank, and
what does an escrow surplus mean?
escrow surplus is a little more than $37,000.
They withheld too much during the year.
Yes. Years, yes.
They were withholding for taxes and insurance, and they withheld too much in escrow, so it's owed to you.
Correct.
From your bank.
Yes.
All right.
And I was talking to Chris, and I was going to go borrow money until the check came in, and Chris said he'd give me $1,500. He was working.
Wait, why are you asking Chris for
I told him I wasn't asking him for the money. He said he would give it to me. I said, I'm not.
As a gift?
Well, because he was doing some consulting for a restaurant that I was assisting him as far as getting everything lined up.
Did you get him that consultancy work? What is it you're saying?
I introduced him to the people and was in some meetings, and things progressed along where he was doing some consulting work for the restaurant.
Okay, why is that relevant to this?
So this defendant wrote the plaintiff a check for $1,500 that bounced, and he's saying it wasn't a loan. Are you buying that it's not a loan? What do you think?
I think it's loan.
It's a loan?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you saying?
I don't think it's conclusive. You have to listen to the rest of the evidence.
It's not conclusive if the guy wrote a $1,500 check that bounced?
No, you have to listen to the context.
What more do you need to know? If the guy, why would the guy write a check for $1,500 if he didn't know the money?
There's a lot of reasons.
Give me one.
You might be giving it as a gift. You have to rule that out. There may be other reasons.
Why would he give the guy a $1,500 gift that he borrowed $1,500?
If they're friends over a period of time, you're assuming that...
I could go on forever with you realize.
Assuming what you're being told is true.
Okay, we're going inside the courtroom.
The reason it's relevant is actually twofold. I had left Chris actually 2 messages that my check, I told him, I left him a
Why did you write him a $1,500 check if you didn't owe him the money?
Because he said he needed to have the money back, and I said, I'll just...
Have what money back?
The $1,500.
Wait, I don't understand.
Okay.
What are you saying? That you're not supposed to pay him back because that's for something you did in a consultancy job for him?
Yes. And then...
So you don't owe him the $1,500 back ever?
No, but
So why is it relevant that you keep saying that, and because I'm going to get money a little bit down the road so I can pay? The only reason I mention that is because you're going to pay him back with it.
Well, he said he needed the $1,500 back, so...
So he gave you $1,500 to pay you for something you did for him as a commission or something, and then he said, okay, I need that $1,500 back.
Yes.
Are you desperately trying to explain to me why it is that you wrote a guy a $1,500 check that bounced and tried to get me to find a reason for it other than debt?
Well, no. I sent him a check because I told him that I was expecting the money, and to hold on to the check, I didn't have the money yet. I left him 2 messages at his house that I didn't have the money yet, and I sent him a text message as well. I changed...
What money? You don't owe him any money.
Well, he said he wanted the $1,500 back.
Why would a person get, I don't care what he says, if that money's owed to you and you earned it, then why would you tell, okay, yeah, here's a $1,500 back? Why,
well,
what, temporarily? Or always, forever, or temporarily? What is it you're trying to say?
I don't know if it was temporarily or if it was forever, because we hadn't discussed it. The next thing I knew is I got
you
mail.
desperately need $1,500 to float you because this escrow check hasn't come in. You get it, and then he tells it, but you're not supposed to pay it back because it's commissioned for something. Then he says, well, now I need it back, and then you give it back to him, but you don't know whether you're supposed to get it back or not get it back.
Because we didn't, the conversation ended after that.
What do you do for a living?
I own an electronic equipment company.
Okay, all right. So you've run a business for how long?
14 years.
Okay, can you please explain to me how a businessman would do any of the things you're saying? Because I desperately don't want to think that you think I'm stupid.
I never said that.
No, I know you didn't say it.
And I'm not implying
But you're
it either.
acting like I am.
No, I'm not implying
and it's
that.
irritating me a great deal.
Okay.
A great deal.
It was...
Because no businessman ever would turn around and say, oh, I earned this money over some commission, over hooking you up with a consultancy job that I lined up, or I lined up things for, or I lined up, who knows which version it is. And, oh, wait, I'm going to give you back money when I'm desperately in need of money. I'll give you back money. Maybe it's just what it looks like, which is you owe him money he loaned you, you didn't pay him back, and then you wrote him a check to cover it, and you are not in a financial position that is particularly lucrative right now, so your stupid check bounced and you owe him the money. Why can't you just say that?
Because that's not exactly what happened.
Okay, what is this man talking about?
I have no idea. This is the first time I heard of it. Okay, as far as the consulting thing goes, he has a family member that recently bought into a restaurant, okay, has no restaurant experience whatsoever. Ron is well aware of my restaurant experience, okay. Put the 2 of us in touch, okay. All I did was give this guy information. I didn't even have a contract with him. I didn't take any money from him.
Oh, you didn't take any money from him?
No. Okay, so...
You didn't even get paid for consultancy?
I did not.
Oh, so then why would he pay you $1,500?
I was under the impression he was paid for it. Because we haven't spoke for 4 months.
Why can't you just be honorable and say, Judge, I know I owe him this money. Can you put me on a payment plan or something? Why can't you just do that? Why do you have to walk in here and try to feed both of us this load of horse manure that you are attempting to load on me?
I'm not trying to feed horse
manure. Are you kidding me? You don't even believe. Ni tú mismo te lo crees. You know what that means? Not even you can believe what you're saying. How are you going to get me to believe it if not even you can believe it? You're red-faced like a tomato right now. It's preposterous. Tell me again. Well, by the way, do you have the check? Nothing on the memo line. Memo lines always help or hurt. But that's preposterous. You're a liar. There's no shame in going through financial difficulty and having a bad spell. No shame at all. No shame. But there is tremendous shame in being a liar and an opportunist and attempting to create the ridiculous fakakta story you have tried to shove down my throat. $1,500 plus a $12 bank fee plus your court costs.
Well, the testimony didn't go too well for the defendant here in the courtroom, and this is your chance in the hallway here to maybe clean up the way you looked a little bit in there.
Well, he requested the money back, so I gave it back, and I figured I'd just get it at a later date.
Yeah. Well, the judge doesn't buy that. Nobody's buying that. You just looked. You think you looked okay in there? You think that story makes you look all right?
Well, that's the way it was. So not much I can say.
Well, he came through for you when you needed it. It was a 30-year friendship. What's the state of the friendship now?
Well, he's still a friend of mine. This is an unfortunate situation, and go on.
All right. All right. Go on that way. Come on in here. Are you satisfied how this situation is finally resolved?
Absolutely.
All right. Step over here a little bit. What about the state of your friendship with this gentleman? What happened to it, and where's it at now?
You know what? I don't have any hard feelings. I'm not. If I saw the guy on the street again, I wouldn't be upset with him. All I wanted was my money back. And
why do you think he did this to you?
I think probably he's strapped a little bit financially. All he had to do was discuss it with me, and he was no longer taking my phone calls.
If he had said to you, I can't afford to pay you back, can you wait?
Yeah, I could have waited.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, a lot of times there's a standoff where one person says, hey, it's a loan, the other person says, no, it was a gift or it was a fee or whatnot. It doesn't really matter. There's something called the burden of proof in all of these cases. And if it's a 50-50 split, the person with the burden of proof loses, and the presumption is that it is a loan.